Never say never?
Never say never, yeah.
For more?
Yep. I still have my apron.
Yeah. When did you start working at the Doryman?
I started working here in December 2006.
And how old were you when you first started?
22? 21, 22.
Okay. And who trained you when you first started?
Back when I first started, food and beverages were separate. So Janine, Dave, would have been the one that trained me for beverages and stuff. But we kind of trained ourselves because if you ordered food, you'd pay your food separately. And if you ordered drinks, you'd pay to your beverage server. When LeVert took it over in 2006, that's when I started, we introduced a new menu. So there was a small group of us. We kind of just trained ourselves as we went.
What would be the busiest night you ever worked?
There was a lot of busy nights. The busiest night capacity-wise for me would be Breaking Tradition in May of 2012. But every Saturday night for the Phantoms was nuts back in the day.
And what would be one of the quietest nights you remember?
Well, I worked most of the Sundays for a couple of years. So for me, Sundays were quiet days. So It was a day where you could like sit down, enjoy the regulars, just kind of more relax and enjoy the place. Because on the busy nights, you don't really have time to talk.
True. And speaking of regulars, who are some of the best regulars you remember?
There's quite a few, but if I could pick a table, it would definitely be Janelle Dave would be serving, and I would be sitting with Gérard Lalus, T. Roger, T. Leonard, Paul Albert Awini, Arthur Apet, and Donia Tum. They might not all get along, but the beginning of the first round would be good for sure.
I'm not sure how much truth would be said at that table.
Yeah. Oh, and Mickey Miller. How could I forget Mickey? Yes, definitely Mickey in the corner talking about truth.
Yeah. Definitely no truth there. Who could you count on every night when you were working? Is there somebody that you got along real well with?
We all got along really well, but for me, it was Janine, because when I first started here, she worked every Saturday afternoon and every Saturday night. So I remember the first time I ever came here, I couldn't remember what I wanted to drink. And she looked at me and she said, time is money. I'm not wasting my time. Or the more time you take, the less money I make. And that always stuck in my mind.
And you were a customer then?
I was a customer, yeah.
And when was the first time you did come here as a customer? Do you remember?
I was 19, and I remember because I was the last one to turn 19, and
from your class.
From my class, and we were at Patricia and Roderick's. So we just crossed the lawn. I went to Riffs. I bought a new outfit. I still remember my beige pants and my black shirt, and I had practiced it in my mind. I was going to have a Singapore Sling. That's what was the cool drink back then.
Okay.
Because before we would drink those Tropic Kiwi coolers, Canada cooler, whatever. I have heartburn thinking about it. But they didn't serve those here. So the Sling was like the next best thing. And I couldn't get it out of my mouth. And she's like, I'll come back to you when you're ready. Time is money. And I was like, oh.
And that would have been what, 2004?
August 2004.
Okay. And who was playing? Do you remember?
Oh, the Phantoms, for sure. Every Saturday.
Okay. What would be the best band you ever worked here during your shifts?
Well, I really like the Phantoms, but I mean, when you listen to them every time, it's not. They were still good. I'd still like to listen to them, but definitely Breaking Tradition.
Okay.
Because you could tell it was a different crowd. It got packed at like 5, and people were just sitting and listening to the music. I don't even know if people were dancing that night. They captivated the crowd.
And what's one of the loudest nights you remember?
Probably one of the times the Phantoms were saying it was their last night, and everybody would come out for that.
Yeah. And Saturday afternoon versus night shifts, which do you prefer?
Well, at the age I'm at now, Saturday afternoon. But back in the day, the Saturday night shifts were fun. Like it was a completely different crowd. I think I used to work behind the bar, but back then we used to sell way more booze and food. Trays full of shooters. I would apologize to anyone I've served shooters after midnight, because there was 2 colors. It was like the pink shooters and the white shooters. If anybody ordered anything that had sourpuss in it, we just threw whatever we could. And if you ordered like a B52 or a coconut or crispy crunch, you just had to make sure it was white. It was just nuts. It's hard to describe. It's hard to describe in words, but.
And is there a song that you associate with this place? If you hear it, you say, oh, that reminds me of the tavern?
Mustang Sally.
Okay.
Yeah, I would always ask Brian Doyle to sing that.
That's the one. What makes this place different to work in?
It's like I've worked in a couple of different places. This place is it's intense. Like there's no dull moments when you're working, because most of the time there's a live entertainment going on. So everybody arrives at the same time, and everybody leaves at the same time. So the fun part is the middle, when everybody's like settled and served. You can actually talk to them, but at the beginning, it's like a kind of like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah. What did working here teach you?
Well, it taught me that time is money. Yep. The more time you waste, the less money you make. It taught me a lot of responsibilities, I guess, because I mean, opening and closing and all that stuff. I made so many friends over the years, the staff, the regulars, people that come every year.
Yeah, and touching on that, how did working here affect that? Do you have friends now that you see that you remember from your time working here?
Oh, all the time. I see them all over the place. Here in particular, because I mostly come to every Saturday fiddle.
Yeah.
And it's not always the same people, but the same weekends of the year, like there's a group of ladies from Glaze Bay that always came the same weekend. There's a group of men from Sydney for Father's Day, and I'll see them in Sydney or Halifax. I've seen people down south on a resort, and they're like, "Oh, the Doryman."
Oh, wow. And so you were a server. Did you ever work in the kitchen?
Well, there was one winter where things were really slow, and the kitchen was going to close. We needed to serve food for the place to stay open.
For the liquor license.
For the liquor license. And we had the same people that came and ate here every Saturday for lunch. And I was afraid to lose that gang because it was kind of like a family.
Yeah.
So anyways, we got a hot dog machine. During the week, I was working at a different job. So there was a hot dog machine, rotating hot dogs all day, and this big jar of pickled eggs. And now Réal ate most of the hot dogs. Sorry, Charelle, I also ate your sandwiches that you made for him, and the cookies. But so on weekends, I would come and I would make food on Saturday and serve all our regulars. There wasn't a lot of items on the menu. And Sundays, I was doing both. I was cooking food and serving it. It wasn't very busy. And during the week at night, when somebody came to eat, I lived downtown. So Janelle would call me and I'd come in.
To cook just for them?
To cook, yeah. If there was like not just one person, but
Yeah.
She'd call and she'd say, "Come on down, this is worth your while." And it was worth her while too, because she was getting tips.
Yeah. You ever see any fights in here?
Yeah, there was one, not a lot actually, but I remember one year, there was it was a car actually, it was a car against, it might have even been Gerard that owned it, was trying to get rid of people, and they were like they were advancing the car towards the building. It was pretty scary being inside, and we were afraid he was going to get squished, but we got him out in time.
Okay. And what about fiddlers? Who are some of your favorite fiddlers you've seen over the years?
Marc Boudreau for sure. Yep, he was always, I think he played every Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And he always played that song at the end where he'd get up and step dance. I keep looking for it on YouTube, but I can't find it.
Okay.
So he would have been my best. I really like my Uncle Donnie. Rodney puts on a good show. They're all really good. Colin, Chrissy.
Yeah. And if the Doryman suddenly disappeared, what would Shetty Camp lose?
Oh, the music, because I mean, even in the winter, there's fiddle every Friday night. Like, you know, even if the week is boring and it gets dark early, you can always look forward to music at the end of the week.
Yeah. And how does it feel seeing the Doryman hit 60 years?
It's cool to be a part of it. Like, I'm proud to say that I worked here and I love coming here. I'm looking forward to the celebration this summer, like all the artists that are coming to celebrate.
Yeah. What about, as a customer, some of your favorite bands that you've seen?
The bands from New Brunswick that come down are really good. I've come to a couple of packed houses here for that. I loved coming here as a customer and listening to the Phantoms.
Yeah.
I didn't get too many. I feel like we both kind of ended at the same time, the Phantoms and my serving career, but I did.
How long did you work here?
A little bit over 10 years.
Okay.
I came back a few times, scattered over the years, but.
Yeah. Never say never?
Never say never, yeah.
For more?
Yep. I still have my apron.
Yeah. And finish this sentence. The Doryman will always be?
Everyone says home, and it's true. It's the place where it doesn't matter when you come, there's always somebody happy to see you. The cooks at the window in the kitchen, the doorman, Lola behind the bar, the regulars, T. Kevin, Brent. Yeah, it's the place that you can call home.